Welcome back to DaBoot Tragedies. I know it's been a minute, but hasn't been anything to talk about on the Saints front coming off a bye week. Play the Falcons this week in a, I guess, kind of important game, if you want to call it that. If the Saints win, they help themselves, giving themselves a chance to win this division. Only if the Bucks lose, they play the Bengals. But talking about the Saints versus Falcons game, looking at the injury report, the Falcons, they only have one injury. And it's their guard. I guess you can count Mariota in that injury list, but he wasn't going to play anyway, so he's on injury reserve. Now for the Saints, you got Zach Bond, who did not practice. J.T. Gray, finally back practicing. Mark Ingram did not practice. Jawan Johnson looked like he's on the way to returning. Cam Jordan looked like he's on the way to not returning. He's already been there, but he's still on the injury report with a foot injury. Marshawn Lattimore, he's looking like he's on the way to returning, but as Chris Richards said, it's just about pain tolerance. You don't want to re-aggravate that, re-injure that, so who knows what that's going to be. Will Lutz was sick earlier this week. Think he'll play. Ryan Ramczyk with the typical rest days. Peyton Turner, limited participant. Adam Troutman, limited. Pete Warner, he should be back. So finally, we'll have all three linebackers, Pete Warner, Caden Ellis, and Demario Davis will all be active, so I'll definitely be looking forward to see how they use those three guys. Three very good linebackers, all have played at an elite level this year. Somebody's not going to, play as much. Let's just see how that rotation works out, especially with 4 games being left in the season. A couple young guys that kind of need snaps. You got Demario. It's going to be very interesting to see how Dennis Allen wants to use those guys. It's definitely been some interesting things going around Saints camp since I've been missing. It's only been 2 days or whatever. But they asked Alvin Kamara about the lack of screens this year. And my man said, ask Pete or something, along those lines of, it's Pete's decision or something like that, and I think that's alarming. Obviously, Alvin Kamara is one of the best pass catchers in the NFL when it comes to route running and catching out the backfield. It's just him, CMC, and probably Austin Eckler. They're the best 3 guys. You can choose who you want, but Alvin Kamara is definitely top notch when it comes to that, and we just haven't used them. We just haven't used them in the red zone. No red zone screens. No screens, in reality anyway. No, not lined up out wide this year in the slot anymore. It's just a lot of things. We've misused Alvin Kamara this year. He did have one bad game, but hey, that it is what it is. But we haven't used him, to the best of his abilities. And I think that's just, that falls on Pete Carmichael, man. Experienced offensive coordinator, a good offensive coordinator is going to get their best weapons involved. I'm watching a 49ers Seahawks game last night, and they got Brock Purdy looking like, prime Peyton Manning out there. That's Shanahan. That's a good offensive coordinator. You see the big difference. Like it's a huge difference when a guy that can call plays is actually calling plays. You do have Eric McCoy, who is designated to return from IR. Don't think he'll play this week, but if he does, that'll be amazing. I just don't see that happen. Just being designated 2 days ago. Also, Chase Hansen was as well. The Saints did put a waiver in for Eno Benjamin, so he will be with the Saints. I think that's a good pickup at the running back position. 10 games for Arizona this year, averaged 4.3 yards to carry, 7.7 yards to catch, so he's good out the backfield. He can run the ball in between the tackles. I think this is a good chance for him. We need a backup running back. The guys we've had just haven't produced with Mark Ingram being injured. I think this is going to be a good opportunity for him to showcase his skills. Hopefully, we can get Alvin Kamara more involved as well. But it's not really much to talk about, this on the Saints front. A couple things. This Falcons will have a new quarterback. Desmond Ridder will, take over the reins against the Saints with 4 games left. That's, an advantage for the Saints and a disadvantage. You get a young rookie quarterback coming out there, but also you have no film. You have no idea what the Falcons are going to run with him. You kind of have an idea because they're not going to change their offense completely, but things will be different. Different quarterback back there. Now Marcus Mariota, Ridder can run a little bit. We struggle with mobile quarterbacks we have since Dennis Allen's gotten here, so that's going to be, something to watch for. Definitely looking forward to it. We should win this game, but I've said that 6 or 7 times this year, and we've lost those games. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't have too much going on about this Saints. I definitely want to see the offense this week. I'm assuming Andy Dalton's going to be the quarterback. I know a lot of people have been asking about the quarterback situation, but let's just, call a spade a spade. Dennis Allen thinks Andy Dalton is better than Jameis Winston, so that's going to be the quarterback situation. You can like it, you can hate it. It just is what it is at this point. That's really it on the Saints front. If anything comes up before the game, I'll definitely be on it. Also, shout out to Drew Brees, man. Got hired at Purdue as an interim assistant coach. I think that's kind of telling. Maybe he wants to coach in the future. Maybe he just wants to do this, for bowl season and just get out there, coach his former team, and just have some fun. But If you're interested, I know a team that will have an offensive coordinator job open next season. They may even have a head coach job open next season. I mean, if Jeff Saturday can do it, why not Drew Brees? I don't know about the head coaching position, but as the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, something like that, come on, join the Saints, man. Come on, join the Saints. And hey, if it just goes bad, just lace it up. I mean, just lace them up and throw some footballs. I don't know about that part, but Drew Brees got not a head coaching job, but just a coaching job at Purdue. I think that's interesting, especially if he wants to get into coaching because, like I said, we're going to need coaches next year. I can guarantee that. And I won't stretch this out any longer, man. That's all I have on the Saints Falcons right now. It's going to be an interesting game. Definitely going to have an eye on other games in the division as we're playing, and it just is what it is. We'll see what happens. The Saints are 4-9, very, very bad team. Playing another very, very bad team, the Atlanta Falcons. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. As always, this DaBoot Tragedies.